Very excited, as everybody is. We're super excited because we give people hope. You know, in 52 weeks, there's a lot of people who literally are going to experience freedom. But that starts with your mind. And let me know when we're ready to serve food, too. Well, you know, who's hungry? Anybody?
Yes.
She said yes first, so make sure we get her a plate ASAP. Right, so we got, I don't have any vegan tacos today.
Ooh.
Yeah, our vegan person was sick.
I'm right here.
Well, you know, we got 2 or 3. You know, so there's no vegan tacos, there's turkey, and there's beef. Right? So, all my vegans gotta eat the lettuce. But yeah, so we've been doing this now for about 22 months. If you're brand new in the house, literally a lot of us can remember what we was doing a year and a half ago. Right, can y'all remember what you was doing a year and a half ago? So you gotta have the mindset that what's gonna happen to you a year and a half later can be completely different. And I'm gonna draw some things on the board because before we get back to trading, use this time to really think about what you need to know when it comes to trading. All right, so use this time to think about what you need to know, because once we start trading, you're gonna be like, wow, this is amazing. Use this time before the hype to try to figure out what you don't know. That's for all the people who's in the business. Right, so if you got started last week or something and you've been playing around and you're trading, in the next, I'm gonna go over some principles, but for you, all the traders, make sure you know exactly what you want to ask. Because that's why we gather here on Tuesdays, to make sure your trading results is outstanding. My claim to fame, which is documented, I was able to take $200 and over $700,000. So that used to be a cool story, but now I've been able to help a lot of people make millions. You know, so there's people who've seen our system put their own swag on it. Does anybody have swag in here? Because you got to bring yourself to the table. Right? So we have something in place, but you have to bring, I like to call it, some ingenuity of your own to the table so it can work for you. Does that make sense? Yeah. The system works, but if you want life-changing results, because life-changing results in 52 weeks, you know, walking off your job, that's pretty unheard of. Can we agree? Some people, you never heard of retiring in 52 weeks. Right? So what we're going to do is talk about it. Because a lot of people say that, you know, I helped them fire their boss, but I honestly give all credit to the creator. Right? I just created an environment for people to grow. Right? Because the environment matters. Who can agree that even if you have the best talent in the world, but you never leave the hood, no one will discover you? You can kind of agree. Right? So a lot of us are that talent, but you're trapped at your job. So right now, I need you to be ready. Because this is the time where all the games, all your circumstances, whatever you think, all the negativity, I just need you to relax, let it go for the next 19 minutes now. I'm only allowed to work 1 hour a day. So this 19 minutes is very important to me. Right? And you'll be the same way once you buy yourself out. Who knows how much it's going to cost for you to buy yourself out of your job? Anybody?
I went to the online trading.
$164 a month to buy you out a job? What you got?
I went to the online trading school here in Atlanta, and the classes are $1,000 to $5,000.
me say this. Let me say this. What I'm trying to say, and write this down. Buy yourself out of the job. What that means is how much do I have to make every single day so I can fire my boss? Right? Just 200. You can yell it out if you want, but make sure you write it down. You gotta make it plain. You gotta make it plain. Write it down. The next question I want to ask you is, what's the most you've ever earned in a year? These are questions. This is started. Because before we go into trading, your mind has to be right. Your mind has to be right, because no one in here is going to convince you to do what we do. This is the part where you have to convince yourself. Because it'll be too hard for me to stand up here and try to convince you why you need to be able to be wealthy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But some of your mind's not even right. So I don't even want to go down that road. I only have 18 minutes. I don't even have time to get your mind right. So I need you to get your mind right. Does this make sense? So if somebody literally took a $200 investment and turned it into millions, and you as a human being, who's a human? Okay. Who's not going to tell the truth? Y'all like, some of y'all ain't raised your hand like, what? Wow, you're not a human? Hold on, let me see that again. Like, who's a human? That kind of threw me off. All right, not everybody. All right, that's cool. But if you're a human, since everybody's kind of tight right now, write it down. Write it down. How much money did you make the most in a year? Then the next thing I need you to write down, very important, you gotta make it plain. We're gonna look at gold too. Now the next thing I need you to write down is, what do you want? This is important. What do you want? What do you want? Now, on Taco Tuesday, we have conscious conversations, right? So this next 20 minutes is to get you prepared for the rest of your life. They don't teach you what I'm about to teach you in school. This is what I've been studying for the last 10 years. The last seminar I actually went to that highlighted this information, it cost me $2,500 to be there in LA. My mentor, you can write him down, I'll never take the credit, he changed my life. His name is Bob Proctor. He changed my life. Study him when you leave here. Be coachable, write the name down. And I'm saving you $2,500 right now. Because what I'm about to give you cost me how much? $2,500. So who's listening? Now watch this. Who would invest $2,500 just to learn how the mind works? Just want to know who's in the room right now. Okay, so we got 1 over here, we got 3 over here, 2, 4. 4 plus 3, what's 4 plus 3? 7, another 3, 10, 2, 13. Right? All right. So we got 13 investors in the house. So you 13, that's who I'm talking to. Everybody else, y'all can play Fortnite. All right? So right now, if you can listen for the next 16 minutes, your life is going to change. I understand humans have an attention span shorter than a goldfish. So I am encouraging you, 13 people, to listen. Over the next 52 weeks, you must, very strong word, if you want these results, you must stop listening to the radio. This is important. TV and other people. The reason why is because the top half of your brain is called the conscious mind. Who's heard of it? This is important. Now, if we don't take control of the only part of our brain we can control, someone else will control it. Now watch how dangerous this is. Watch how dangerous this is. What will happen to you if the radio controls your brain? Think about it. Think about it. Now, if it's hard for you to think right now in this moment, it's okay. Because 85% of the world don't think. I need you to understand these stats. I paid thousands. 2,500 was one seminar. I've been doing this for 10 years. Started at 20. By the time I was 30, done. Multiple millions. This is how. It has nothing to do with what you're going to learn today. This is just the 10%. You still need how much? 90 more. And 90% is spiritual. 90% is spiritual. So if you want to change your reality, Tony, you must change your personality. Okay? You need to write that down. This is serious. Because everybody can make it. But it's going to take a certain type of personality to withstand this new world. We're in a new world. Who can agree that violence has increased? Who can agree food increased? Who can agree the laws has increased? Who can also agree our paychecks stay the same? So this is serious. And it starts with the mind, because when you create your own reality, who cares if the government shuts down? But that means, like, who cares how much minimum wage is? No one cares when you know a skill set. No one cares. No one cares who's hiring. Matter of fact, tap your name and say, I can care less. I care less who's hiring. Because that's not for me. Does that make sense? That's not for me. That raise I thought I was excited about, right? What I thought I was excited about, the $27 an hour going to $35, I thought that was going to change my life until I met somebody who took $200 into $2 million. Does this make sense? Yes. In order for you to be able to believe, wow. In order for you to be able to believe something like that, it starts where? Your mind. So if all you are is made up of your favorite song every day, you know your favorite song by heart, but you don't know this. This is important. You can tell me about every one of your favorite celebrities. You can tell me what Drake just bought. You can tell me what Rihanna just dropped. You can even tell me, some of y'all can even tell me how much LL Cool J weigh. But you cannot tell me how to get wealthy. Does it make sense? You can tell me what 50 Cent just did on his Instagram and who he's talking about. He's always talking about somebody. You can tell me about what Floyd Mayweather just purchased. But you cannot show me how to get wealthy. This is important. Now watch this. Your conscious mind is the only thing you can control. Which means if you listen with your ear, if you listen with your ear to other people who do not have the results you want, you are on a one-way street to the dream called hell. The dream called hell. Because if faith comes from hearing, how do you build your faith? By controlling what you hear. This is important. Now, for 52 weeks, some of you are going to tap out your first week. You're going to tap out. But if you take this time to reprogram your mind, We'll give you everything to listen to. We'll give you everything to watch. But if you don't do it, you'll have the same personality next year, which remember what your personality is currently getting you, your reality. So it's okay to be a new person. Who wouldn't mind being someone totally new next year? Or just totally new. Who wouldn't even mind? Which means you shop different. My man said he does Uber to get girls. How about you just, how about you just buy a Benz? Like they'll just fall in there. Does that make sense? Like everything about you, whatever you want, has to change, and it starts with what you want. So real quickly, look at the paper and read what you want, because you wrote it down. Now, if you remember back in the ancient days, when this guy named the Lord, right, when he was walking around, he was drawing his goals on tables. And that's the reason why is because there wasn't paper then. But what is a table made of? Wood. What is paper made of? Wood. So why do you think there's a correlation that you have to write your goals down? Wow. Because when you read it, you can hear it. And then it goes into your what? Watch this. When you write it down, you can also what?
See it.
Watch this. We got a couple minutes left. Try to stay long. I know this is boring to some of you, but some of you is going to change your life. You've never heard this before. This is serious. Just try to stay long. This is called a goal card. If I was you, I would write it down to have one for the rest of your life. I keep this beside my debit card. Why do you think?
Look at it all the time.
See it all the time. So what does that tell you? If you want to take $700 or $200 into $700,000, you should start being humble enough to follow the people with the results. So if this is attached to my ID, and every time I swipe or show my ID, I see my what?
Goal card.
It activates my mind. This is important for you. Subconscious, write that down. That's the bottom part of your mind. If you don't activate your subconscious constantly, you're going to be what I call sleep. Alive, though. You're like alive, but you're asleep. Who in this room can go to work early in the morning and wake up when you get on the highway?
Yeah, that's true.
Does this make sense? If it doesn't make sense, let me slow it down. What I meant to say was who's the person? You can raise your eyebrow. We don't have to admit it. You can wake up. You're still asleep. You can put on your clothes. You can do everything you can do, and you finally wake up when you get in the car to go to work. That's called zombie. Right? That's called zombie. So your subconscious can't reject nothing. That's very important for you to know. It's very important for you to know. It's very important for you to know. So if you write down your goals and you see it every day, goal stands for go out and live. Some of you have been at your job longer than you're supposed to because you haven't seen your goals every day, or you don't have any. Does this make sense? So if you don't have any, you're easily to be tricked into believing you're supposed to be a manager. You're easily tricked into believing you're only supposed to be your job title. Does this make sense? It's very important. Now watch this. What do we replace the radio with? This is important for you to know.
Motivation, video, audio.
That's right, personal development. You replace your TV with the IML TV. All right? And you replace these other people, you replace them with your mentors. I promise you that 3 changes will change your life. Promise. Promise. Now, if all we see and talk about, because remember, how many of us don't think? 85%. 85% of us don't think. So out of 100 people, how many people think? 15. Is this making sense? Watch how this gets deep. So if all we think about for 24 hours out of a day is our what? We become our job. Who's been caught going home with family and friends that you love and you're caught talking about work? Who's been caught doing that? This is what I'm trying to tell you. And you work for how long? 8 to 12? Now watch this. So if we work 12-hour shift minus 24, what is that? 12. So we got 12 left. Now we get home, and some of us are still talking about our job to our family time. So now we got to take what, another 2 hours off, because now we got to hear your job talk at the kitchen table. So now we got 10 hours left to be who? Ourselves. This is important. 10 hours? Wow. You got to what? Wow. How long you sleeping?
Not enough.
Some of you 8 hours. Is this making sense? Let's be honest. I know y'all didn't tell the truth earlier, but who can honestly agree they sleep 8 hours? Who need the 8? Who needs the 8? We got 2 in the back.
I need the 8.
I'm talking about if you need the 8, raise your hand. That's all good.
Once
a week. Yeah. All right, cool. So who needs the 6? Who can do 6? You need the 6. So that's about the same. That's about half and half.
You're saying who needs it, but who gets it?
No, who needs it?
Like you got
Like needs it. Like who needs it to operate? All right. So let's just say 7. So that means there's 3 hours left for us to do what we got to do. For the guests in the room, this is going to help you. 3 hours is all you need to be wealthy. So that's called spare time. I need y'all to write this down. Spare time. So when you're figuring out all this good information, you're seeing all these happy people, you're seeing people making money, and you're the person says, I have a job. I don't have no time for this. Everyone has 3 to 1 hours spare time. You just got to find it. Does that make sense? You just got to find it. It's up to you. And watch this. We can tell how big you believe in your actions. So let me write that down here. This is B times A equals R. This is a formula you must learn. Your belief times your action always equals your results. So if all you believe in is your favorite TV show, if all you believe in is that new song by Lil Duval,
Never heard of this.
I can't even say his name. And all you believe in is what your spouse is saying. Because some of y'all are going to actually be the person to get wealthy, but you're going to go home and listen to someone broke tell you you're not the one. Those people are crazy, and so are you if you believe them. Oh, they got you. Right? You're listening to who?
Other people.
Please laugh. All right, now don't laugh no more. Because this is serious. Some of y'all gonna do it. You're gonna go home and say, hey, big dog, should I spend this $225 to get in this thing? Big dog gonna give you an answer. It's up to your belief to believe it or not. Because they have nothing to do with your future. Big mama, big dog, whoever, you're gonna ask. Just remember, if you're not willing to trade lifestyles with this person, don't listen to them. Because there's people in this room who spent $225 and they got their life back. They got their life back. And what they see when they're done sleeping, you need to understand, alarm clock just interrupts you, sir. So when you wake up, when you're done sleeping, right? You don't see the job, you see your what?
Gold.
Now, this is the last part of this. This is the last part of this. This is the last part of this. Everybody has a heart. Everybody has a heart. Whatever you love, you talk about. This is important. If we was to ask you about your kids, your face will change and you will talk. I'm trying to show you how to put the goal in your conscious mind and hold it in your mind until you can hold it in your hand. Because whatever you hold in your conscious mind the longest, you'll be able to hold it in your hand. So what is that? So that's what I want to talk about today. What is that? We don't want you to join this opportunity unless you know what you want out of it. This is not about your $225. If you don't have a goal, we don't even want you in this business. Hope that wasn't mad. I hope that wasn't mean. So let's just take a real quick 20 seconds and talk about your goal with your neighbor real quick. Just a quick 20 seconds. Just talk about it. All right. Raise your hand if you believe your neighbor. Do you believe they're going to get their goal? Okay, y'all believe each other? Raise your hand. Okay, so you ain't raising your hand. She don't believe her neighbor. Yeah, you believe your neighbor? You believe your neighbor? All right, perfect. All right, now tell your neighbor, shh. Now the last part of this is for the transformation. Once you get your mind right, you can never violate these 4 agreements. This is for the transformation. If you don't understand this, I gave you the source. Look deeper into it. Promise you it'll change your life. I just wanted to give you a taste so you can really understand that 90% of success, where does ideas come from?
Mindset.
The universe. Whoever you pray to. Energy. That's where ideas come from. So one day, you had an idea, and it wasn't the life you're living right now. I promise you that. Some of you are supposed to have an extra 100,000 in the bed case. Or my bad, a pillow. Said a bed case. I don't know what that was. Right. But this is what we need. The first agreement is be impeccable with your word. This is important. Meaning, for the next 52 weeks, if you're going to say something, D, make sure you do it. So if you're going to say, hey, I'm getting started today, make sure you do it. Because you're going to be judged off your word. And the word is the most strongest thing in the world. I am. Most powerful words in the world. The second agreement. This is very important. Always do your best. Now, I train some of my 6-figure earners because they get, you know, they're very hard on themselves. And I always say, when you get sick, still show up, your best just changes. So when you're operating at 60%, that doesn't mean you do 0. You still show up and you give your best. You're not at 100%, you're at 60%, so we expect 60% worth of your best. And this goes for if you want to be the best mechanic, if you want to be the best employee. I heard somebody say, hey, I'm in mortgage. If you want to write the most loans, guess what? It all starts in the what? The mind. If you want to sell the most clothes, it all starts in the what? The mind. You got to walk into your workplace and you can't see the job. You got to see what? The goal. Because if you see your employees and you're trying to be the top employee and you see your employees And they're tapping into your what? Conscious mind, which is this person over here. There's three things that tap into your conscious mind that control you, which is what?
TV, other people.
That's what controls you. So if you can stop that, guess what? You can control your thinking. Now write this down. This is for the advanced people. All you have to do is alter 9% of your thoughts. Now watch this. You get 75,000 thoughts a day. All you need to capture is 9% of them. Now majority will be negative. That's why this is so important. Personal development. IML TV. Mentors. Because if majority of thoughts is negative, your personality is what?
Negative.
But if you can capture not all 75,000, just 9%, right? By staying woke. Tap your neighbor and say, stay woke.
Stay woke.
And you can see it. Because all this is frequencies, y'all. So if you're operating by listening to other people at a low frequency, that means you got to tell those broke people, get out my ear with all that. I'm not on that frequency. Who got some broke friends? Keep your hand up if you're the broke friend. Right? So this is important. If you don't want to be the broke friend, let's get it. Who's with me? Who's still listening? All right, now watch this. This is the important part. Oh my goodness, this is biblical. Don't take nothing personal. Promise you that. Look, there's so many things to take personal. Don't take nothing personal. This goes for everything. Somebody can tell you right now, hey, look, man, I like the information, but dude, your shirt, I wouldn't wear this in a presentation. Dude, your shirt is just totally distracting. You should have put on a suit and tie. What's wrong with you, man? You supposed to be making all this money, right? If someone told me that, right, I wouldn't take it personal. You know why?
Mindset not right.
Because I'm telling you not to. Give you the shortcut. Who knows the story that someone was going to portray Jesus, but he still hung out with him? Who heard of that? Somebody was going to betray Jesus, but he still hung out with him. Who heard of that? Just raise your hand if you heard of that.
Judah.
All right. This is important. Everything I'm talking about has already been done.